So we come to our last in our series of video chats. Thus far, we've talked about the importance of the first 2 weeks in establishing breastfeeding and lactation. We focused on what to do during the maternity hospitalization and the first week at home to get breastfeeding off to a good start. We've also discussed some of the common maternal conditions that can cause breastfeeding problems. And we've spoken about what to do when your baby doesn't feed well at the breast during this time. Today, we turn our attention to what happens if you and your baby are separated during the first 2 weeks. Mothers and babies can be separated during the maternity hospitalization because of health conditions in either or both that require special care. Mothers may be moved to adult care areas, or babies may be admitted to the neonatal intensive care unit, or the NICU, as we call it. Separation brings its own set of stressors, but long-term goals for breastfeeding can still be achieved. In most instances, mothers will need to begin milk removal with a breast pump that is effective, efficient, and comfortable. Research also shows that a breast pump with suction patterns that feel like a healthy, full-term baby during breastfeeding plays a key part in this process. This video chat focuses on understanding and using the breast pump to get off to a good start with milk production while you are separated from your baby. First, not all separation should mean breast pump use, or at least exclusive breast pump use. Oftentimes, full-term babies are admitted to the NICU for short stays that should not stop feeding at the breast. Examples of these include admissions for low blood sugar or hypoglycemia, which is common in mothers who have diabetes. Babies may need intravenous antibiotics because we suspect infection, or the baby may have brief episodes of just mild breathing problems. If mothers feel physically well enough to be in the NICU, these babies can still be breastfed most or even all of the time. Sometimes, though, the babies are healthy and the mothers have complications such as high blood pressure that necessitate separation. If the mother has somebody to help her safely handle and position her baby, breastfeeding may still be possible most or even all of the time. However, if the baby is in the NICU and is not able to breastfeed, it is extremely important to begin breast pump use as soon as possible after birth. And many hospitals start mothers of NICU babies pumping in the delivery room. Research also shows that the type of breast pump matters for mothers of NICU babies because these mothers are totally dependent upon the breast pump to remove milk and to stimulate milk production. The best choice is a breast pump that feels like a healthy, full-term baby during breastfeeding, especially during the first 2 weeks when milk production is beginning. During our earlier video chats, I described the many breast and hormonal changes that must take place during the first 2 weeks. Key to these changes is that your breasts receive the right stimulation to work along with the milk-making hormones. I also explained how healthy, full-term babies provide this stimulation during the first 2 to 3 days after birth by sucking differently than they do when the milk supply is fully established. I and other researchers think that this very different sucking pattern, which consists of rapid or fast but irregular sucking, followed by long pauses, almost looking like the baby is asleep, provides essential stimulation to the breast. Some time ago, I partnered with Medela engineers to develop the initiation pattern in the Symphony breast pump so that breast pump dependent mothers could have this important stimulation. After spending 18 months testing and trying different types of initiation patterns, we chose one based on the mother's feedback. Even more research and testing went into developing the final initiation pattern, including a very carefully conducted blinded randomized trial that was published in a well-known professional journal. The Symphony Plus, which includes this initiation pattern, has been shown in 2 published research studies to help new mothers initiate, build, and maintain their milk production. Symphony Plus features 2 programs that work like a full-term baby during breastfeeding to boost milk production for mothers who must depend upon a breast pump. The Initiate program contains Medila's initiation technology, designed with a mix of sucking rates and rhythm, just like those used by a full-term baby during breastfeeding. Initiate should be used until your milk comes in. The Maintain pattern uses Medila's 2-phase expression technology to build and maintain your milk supply. It feels like a full-term baby breastfeeding after the milk has come in, and the milk flows more readily. I and my research team also tested the Maintain pattern in mothers of premature babies who had already established or initiated their milk supply, and 91% of the mothers who participated in the study chose this pattern over the other tested patterns. Of course, one thing is research, and another thing is, what does this mean to me? Well, it means that if you are separated from your baby or must depend upon a breast pump for some other reason, that the Symphony breast pump has sucking patterns that feel and work like a full-term baby during breastfeeding. Furthermore, these patterns can be changed within the pump, just as your baby would change them naturally during breastfeeding. So as we end our final video chat, I have 4 takeaway messages. Number 1, most but not all mothers who are separated from their babies should begin breast pump use with a hospital-grade, multi-user electric breast pump with Initiate technology as soon as possible after birth. Number 2, if either you or your baby is healthy enough to travel, to be together to breastfeed, ask your healthcare provider to help you do this. Number 3, be sure to switch from Initiate to Maintain when your pumped milk volume is at least 20 milliliters or 2/3 of an ounce. And finally, remember that only breast pump use, not hand expression or kangaroo care alone, can stimulate milk production in a breast pump dependent mother. Try to use the breast pump at least 8 times per day as your own health condition permits.